Yo, bro.
Oh God, yo, bro. I just had to take a sip as soon as you said that. I'm sorry about that.
Yo, bro.
Yo, bro.
Dude,
We're
what's
all here.
up?
We're all here.
Are you
I'm
good?
doing well, man. I'm doing wonderful. Am I a little low?
For the listeners, Dominic just snorted his coffee into his face. I think this guy still got a little something in his beard, like Cecil with the Frosty.
I don't think so.
I
dude.
think you might.
You're,
I don't know.
We're good.
You
We're
good?
good.
All right.
I'm doing wonderful. Welcome back, boys. How we feeling? What's going on?
Looking good, feeling good, man. Just took a nice long walk after a sick workout. Ran some errands this morning. Productive day. How about you?
That's good. That's good, dude. I am doing well. I'm getting some decent sleep, which is more than I can ask for.
I'll remind the listeners why that matters.
I just had a newborn baby boy, so we've been on a bit of a hiatus, which I appreciate your leniency, and thank you very much for being patient with us.
Absolutely beautiful baby boy, but it does depend on the photo.
Yeah,
And,
there's a couple out there right now. Could go either way.
And thank both of you, Abe and Markstrom, for your patience and your leniency as well.
Of course.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
it, guys.
It's exciting time. Congratulations indeed.
Thank you. But other than that, I'm doing wonderful. Abe, how about you, dude?
Doing good, man. Been hitting the health train for a couple of months now. Starting to see some good results. Feeling great. Feeling energized. Really excited to be back here with you guys. My wife probably is too, because she's like, you yap a lot less when you're off to that.
It's a very, very healthy outlet for you, Abe. It's good.
That's good. All right. So we all had good days, having good life. What do you say we get right into it, huh?
We got Abe.
Sounds good. Well, we're having a good life. Gamers kind of aren't. They're pissed about a couple things this week. So why don't we roll the clip?
It's good to be back. Yeah, buddy. What are they mad about?
All right. Well, the ire is aimed towards Nintendo to start here. So Nintendo, they have a little console coming out soon called the Switch 2. It's just going to, projected to be probably the biggest console released to date of all time. But with that, they've been updating some of the language in their user agreements. And we're no stranger to this topic around here of the idea that you don't own your video games, right? So the trend has been more and more that you don't actually own the game. You own the right to play the game or something of that nature. There's really not a lot of physical copies that get sold anymore. However, Nintendo is taking this war against ownership a little bit too far in some people's minds as they've now started targeting the devices and hardware itself. So what I mean by that is some changes in their user agreements in the language. Previously, their user agreement stated that you are not allowed to lease, rent, sublicense, publish, copy, modify, adapt, translate, reverse engineer, decompile, or disassemble all or any portion of the Nintendo account services without Nintendo's written consent or unless otherwise expressly permitted by applicable law. They've since changed that to also include language through the language that says, including through the use of any hardware or software that would cause the Nintendo account services to operate other than in accordance with the documentation and intended use. And then there's a series of sub changes that basically go into expressing what that means. At the end of the day, what this language is targeting is basically you can't modify the physical version of your Switch or any of their consoles in any way, shape, or form. And if you do, and they catch that you've done that, they can brick your device permanently.
Remotely.
They remotely brick your device permanently.
They're not coming to your house with a hammer.
Correct. Yeah, they're not going to smash it, but they can remotely disable your device if you violate the terms of this. So where people are, this is all aimed under the guise of we're combating piracy and emulators and things like that.
Yeah.
However, this can stretch well beyond that. And really, it's getting to the point where it's like, well, what do I actually own in this situation?
What's like worst case scenario here?
So let me see if I understand this correctly. So if you modify the device internally or externally, they can shut your device off, they being Nintendo. But is that like if I paint it? I mean, I know that's an extreme, but like if they're using extreme language, right?
Yeah, so I have it up on screen, this explicit language in the US agreement. And of course, as I did that, another new ad popped up. Wonderful. Thanks, IGN. There we go. But this is the exact language, so you can kind of read through it. It's quite long, so I didn't want to just sit here and read it to you the entire time. But it's the section after the Nintendo account services in this area, what they're talking about from,
Well, hold on. It says, including the use of any hardware or software that would cause Nintendo account services to act differently, not necessarily your Switch. So like physical, like hardware modifications, silly stuff. Obviously, that's not a thing. It doesn't matter because that doesn't affect Nintendo account services.
That's where the debate comes into play. What they're getting at here is that you can't modify it to be able to play with emulators and other things that you could use to steal and pirate things from Nintendo.
Yeah, they don't want you jailbreaking or loading different software
Correct.
onto your Switch to have access to things that you haven't bought yet.
That is totally understandable.
Yeah, I mean that seems beyond reasonable. The problem is that Nintendo has a lengthy history of going way too far and prosecuting people who absolutely are like well within the rights to do certain things, or are using Nintendo IP well within fair use. And so I think they appropriately receive a certain amount of scrutiny these days when they are trying to tighten their grip.
What is there any Nintendo IP that's in fair use right now, or that's
I mean it in a sense of like, Nintendo's the kind of company that if you utilize like a piece of music from one of their games in something, it could be up for 10 years. It could be a short amount of time. It could be, but they will not just like try and take your ad rev. Like they will sue you, like as an individual.
Okay.
And they do this like there's a lot of examples throughout the years of them coming after like creators who literally spent lifetime like supporting their projects. You know what I mean? And like covering their stuff. And there's just no love lost between the people who have covered Nintendo type stuff and Nintendo themselves. So yeah, it's been a rough road. They also have a pretty tenuous relationship with the esports community. They have, I would say, more so actively undermined grassroots Super Smash tournament play more than they have supported it over the years. And I don't know. A lot of it has to do with control, and it's a shame.
Do you think that it would be a bold take to say most of the people that are like downloading emulators and stuff, I'll say most of the people that download emulators and stuff are also some of the biggest supporters, or is that not true?
Fans for sure. I think that's probably more fair if you want to like classify them as fans for sure. I get that. The problem comes in where people basically they will go out of their way to sell these systems that they just own nothing. Like they own no rights to, and they're incredibly popular these days. And there's little handheld systems because the tech is there, and they can just have every Nintendo game ever made on it.
True.
And it's like, here you go. And they're making bank on cheap tech, but it's capable, at least enough to get the money in their hands. And that's really all that matters in a lot of those situations for them.
Yeah, I went to an Airbnb once, and in my room there was this little tiny thing. It was like
little guy.
It was like 3 inches by 3 inches. It was a square. It was a box that had 2 controllers coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn it on, and on the TV it was like
crazy.
Enjoy the whole entire library of Super Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
That's pretty sweet.
This is insane.
Well, and the problem
I'm also
is
a guy that has a Super, or my family, we had Nintendos, we had Super, we buy all this stuff. I'm a GameCube guy. So like I respect the game. But there is probably a bunch, like you just said, those people that are selling that thing, they don't give a shit. They just see the demand and they're like, okay, let's do it, dude. Let's supply.
The other problem is that Nintendo doesn't really properly supply that same service through Nintendo, which is why a lot of these emulators exist as well.
That's true.
I think there are plenty of people like you, Slum, that would buy it from Nintendo.
Legitimately.
Nintendo is just like, here's every one of our games in our library, but they don't do that, and they restrict you if you try to get that elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay.
Like they punish people who, they punish people who, like you said, are fans essentially, and that sucks, and that feels very undermining. So yeah, I think at a certain point, either they have to provide something like that for the fandom, or there needs to be like a certain amount of years, right? At what point are we saying NES is fair game for emulation? At what point are we saying Super Nintendo is fair game for emulation? Because the reality is that there's only so many of these systems out there. That number is dwindling by the day. They are wildly expensive to buy and buy the games for. I just passed like a bunch of these stalls at PAX East in Boston. And it's not the same price as it was back then, I'll tell you that. They're highly collectible. And so for the sake of the art of video games and people being able to experience that and to have the games historically preserved, there needs to be an avenue there. And it just sucks that Nintendo is unwilling to provide a compromise on any front. So
it's very interesting because I could think of a few reasons, but what are the main reasons there's no emulators for modern games? In my head, I'm thinking size. I'm thinking, well, most of them are multiplayer, so like you ain't gonna get that. But like, why is the demand so high for that stuff and not modern stuff?
When we talk emulators, we're talking like specifically console to console, right? Like that's the emulation side of it. It's like essentially like Project 64, for example, is a very popular N64 one. And you download the ROMs through a library, right? And it takes care of the rest. When it comes to modern games, especially like PC stuff, I'm sure there's a whole side still, and like I haven't pirated a game in a very long time. But I can guarantee you that like the new Doom that's coming out, I bet I could download it if I wanted to. Like that still is very much so there.
Is it multiplayer?
It's a single player experience, but you can't there are ways. There are definitely ways. I would also argue that the best multiplayer experiences are free. Like almost without fail on that front. But the single player games are typically where you are willing to spend a significant chunk of change. Like we're talking S tier, right? Upper echelon, 60, 70, $80 for an experience. And those are the ones that I think are most likely getting put out through the back alleys of the internet.
So like a GTA?
Yeah. I guarantee you GTA will be downloadable at some point, GTA 6.
And you could just get in multiplayer servers?
No. So like it depends.
Okay.
Because that's one of the big reasons why I think that's one of the big reasons why, Rockstar accounts exist.
Oh my God. And they are brutal.
They're brutal about it. Yeah.
Brutal if something happens to your account.
Yeah,
dude.
You get your shit cooked. It's like, well, we'll take your money again.
and actually, they I don't want to say they won't do that, but they also make that extremely hard if you've bought it on the same rig or Steam account.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, I think it was GTA 4. I was playing it. I think I was in high school, I think. And me and my buddies were playing every night, DJing shit,
same.
dude. And we would hop in the minivan and we'd go to the park because the park had a swing set that that jiggled slightly like this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you pulled the minivan up to the bar of the swing set and just waited there, you had to lock in. Like it would try to throw you off. It would try to throw you off. You had to stay as still as you can, and it would throw you sky high, dude. It was the best experience ever. It wasn't even part of the story. It wasn't part of anything, man. It was just great times, dude. So we play
Sandbox,
every
baby.
night. Love it. We play every night. Well, when me and you started getting into GTA a little bit, not the first time, but then like this time around, we got into GTA, and I couldn't get on because I needed my Rockstar account, and I forgot it.
I remember.
And the email that I used wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But it was the same Steam account. I don't know. Something was wonky. So I had to try to contact them, try to recover it. I don't have access to that email. Okay, well, what the heck am I supposed to do? It was a whole rigmarole, dude. And I don't even know where I left off, to be honest. I think I still don't have an account. I don't know. I probably have an account.
You played.
I think, but, dude, it was rough. I succeeded, I guess, if you're saying I played, but I remember it being...
No, I think Rockstar probably succeeded. That would be my guess. I think that's probably the outcome.
It was rough, dude. It was rough. And it's like, there's got to be a better way, man. There's got to be. I should be able to just be like...
I mean, this is like some of the stuff that, I mean, these are the justifications that people have for, like Sony has for their bullshit, right? For Helldivers. Like that whole debacle.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think it's the right way to go about it. It certainly does not buy you any popularity with your fandom and the people who are trying to support you and buy what you sell. That's for sure.
Dude, let me buy it again. Let me link it to my Steam account and keep an eye on me. If you see me using that old account or something, flag me. But let me get in there, man. Don't be weird. I'm just trying to play GTA.
On the front of GTA, I got a plug for the people tuning in. Just a little something that if I don't remember to mention at the end of the cast, a friend of ours, I've been helping with a brand new GTA server, and it is going to be a cornerstone of our channel's content over at twitch.tv/Marksham for quite some time this year. We're really excited about it, and if you'd like to check it out, head over to freetorp.com. It's FREE2, the number 2 RP.com, and I'm really excited for the content that we're going to create over there, and I think we have a lot of very talented RPers locked in for the early experience, so that is coming this month.
100%. Did they put the trailer on this website?
I would assume so.
Let's see.
I'm not the website guy.
I don't see the trailer on.
Press the YouTube button.
You could get there's 2 trailers here. So there's the one that you're talking about right there. So would you like me to play it?
What's the 1 minute 10 one?
There's the new trailer.
Official cinematic trailer too, bro. Let me see it.
You
Run that shit.
Run that shit, Abe.
Run that shit.
Let's run it.
Great song. Great song. I love the custom emotes and shit that we're gonna be able to do.
They showed off a lot in this one.
Good.
For the emotes.
All right, so we're in a a little effect. Okay. Good dancing. I like that. Nice.
They've been working on the nightlife quite a bit.
What is ESB? Is that a club or something? Oh my god, it was bashed on the trash can. Street races.
Yeah. I'm gonna. You want to leak the new character I'm cooking up?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Street racing, it will be a cornerstone.
Oh, shit.
Is she learning about family at all?
Character creations open on the 24th to subscribers.
Okay.
Server opens on the 31st. Ooh,
Okay.
I'm so excited.
That's this weekend.
A place where you're actually free to RP.
That is correct. So yeah, the 24th, 3 days from now, this Saturday, if you have access to the server, you will be able to create your character, which I think is an awesome way to alleviate a lot of the friction that comes with jumping into a server for the first time, right? Because like you want to get in, you're excited, you want to do the thing,
It's a good
But
idea.
so you shortchange what your character can look like.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. I've done it on 100 servers. I'm just like, I don't give a shit anymore. Get me in there. You know, you change your
Then
nose
you
for
end
the
up with
third
Chuck
time, and you're
Tiger.
like, I'm over it. So it'll be nice to sit, and I think it's going to really increase the quality of the characters that you see walking around. So
That's a good idea,
it'll be
dude.
fun.
Did I sense some not hostility, but some fire at the end where you're actually free to RP?
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Good for him.
the reason is because of, it could not be a more common experience to feel like you are constantly handcuffed on one of those servers in a way that really makes you not feel like you're having fun. And that's a shame. And, I think the Daisy experience that we had recently is a prime example. And it'll be nice to have the administration on one of these servers actually just be content first and not making sure that the right party is winning first. And that's a huge distinction. And I am very excited for that facet of the server.
Yeah, I think that's probably the recipe, right? Like, how can we make this the most fun and the most clippable server ever? Yeah. That's probably the recipe for success there. Well, good stuff. Hopefully I can get in there and create a character this weekend. Would love to do that. Stan, where you at? Would love to do that, dude. Get me in there.
I may or may not have access myself already, so maybe you'll see me later.
Damn.
Somebody's on his shit, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I applied. Did you apply?
Well, hold on. I didn't get any steps or anything to initiate. I would initiate if.
That's crazy. Abe, did I send you anything?
No, I went to free2rp.com.
Yeah, there's this weird thing with the Filari brothers where they the only way you can get them to do anything is to send them a direct link. Their actual quote unquote is direct links only.
Don't do me like that. The last time you wanted me to try to get into a server, I applied 3 times.
I know. You did.
And still got dick in my hand, dude. Free.
Listen, I'll vouch for you on this one too, Slum, as an existing member of the community.
Free.
You're a good guy, Abe.
I'll get in there. I'm getting in there. We need to work on your indexing though, Stan. If I do free 2P, you're not the first thing that comes up. We're gonna work on that. All right, I'll apply.
All right.
Appreciate that. What else we got, dude?
All right, I got a quick bonus what are gamers angry about this week, and that's coming at the expense of Borderlands 4. And actually the Gearbox CEO, whose name is Randy Pitchford. So he got into it on Twitter with some folks that were talking about basically Borderlands. He had made a tweet about, and I'll pull it up over here, Borderlands 4 coming to Nintendo Switch 2 and how excited they were about that. And then he had a reply that basically said, this game better not cost $80. Don't take that risk. There's a lot of gamers out there that can't afford to pay $80 for games in this environment. And then he replied, A, that's not my call. And B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991. I did fact check that, by the way. That is true. So that game did cost $80 in 1991. When I was just out of high school working a minimum wage job at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. I think what Randy fails to realize here is that back then, $80, if you adjust that for inflation, it's quite high. But you also weren't immediately jammed with DLCs that you could download. I mean, Borderlands is notorious for having like a season pass for every actual season that costs $20 each time. They sell weapon skins. They just monetize. So, and that's also that there was no deluxe edition. There was no premium edition. There was no gold edition. That was $80. You got the game. You got a physical copy of it, and you own that game forever. So people are not very happy with him over this. As you can see from the ratio here, not a lot of likes to replies, and you have people really, really, really hammering this guy in the replies like, dog, we are not paying $80 for a Borderlands game, fully knowing you'll do multiple season passes that cost another $100 and you'll probably sell weapons too. So not very happy with Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford here, and his incredibly, in my opinion, dickish response to the cost of the game.
So, but here's the thing: do some of these CEOs or owners, are they playing the game of like being a dick and rage baiting, or is this just you're ridiculous? Like you don't get it.
No, I think they're autists who need to be kept away from the public. I mean, I genuinely do. There's no reason why this dude should be like individually responding. He's literally hurting his company by doing that.
Do you think the dev team was like, dude, what did you?
I don't
do
think the
that
dev
for?
team's like that. I think the PR team, his board of advisors, everyone is mad. Everyone is mad. Yeah, he's stupid for doing this. It's a super out of touch take, which is typical for anyone in his position across the board at a bunch of these companies. And yeah, I mean, hopefully, and it's nice to see, gamers seem pretty excited to make them pay for it. That's it. I mean, like if they have the audacity to try and sell a Borderlands, what number is this, Abe? 5? 4?
There's other ones that aren't numbered though in between that too.
Yeah,
so.
Trust me, I know. Yeah, and I'm trying to keep the fact that I think Borderlands is one of the worst titles to ever grace gaming like out of this. It's just not my cup of tea. It has this I think the art style is cool, cel shaded is cool. I'm not hating on that. But I do think just the dialogue makes me want to punch a hole in my monitor. They kind of they do that, like they do the dad joke, cringe humor, and they go super overboard the whole time. I'm just not into it, and that's fine. There's a bunch of people who are hardcore Borderlands fans. I respect that, but these games are a shell of what they used to be, and I think even the fans will say that. And so for them to continue to try and suck max dollar out of their fans, for anyone who's still willing to buy this kind of game in 2025, which I personally think is like a genre that can easily be left behind at this point and has been overdone 1,000 times over. And I guarantee that this version of it is not going to do anything crazy new or innovative. That's just who they are as a company these days, and that's fine too. But yeah, $80 ask, stupid, mocking your consumers for not being willing to pay $80, even dumber.
The comment of "I found a way to make it happen" is absurd.
It's embarrassing.
It's just an absurd thing to say.
Yeah.
When I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. Kudos to you, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Crazy. Actually crazy.
What the heck?
Yeah. So
Wow.
he's getting dragged. He really should be, but he is getting dragged for this one.
Good.
And yeah. So people were not very happy about that one. That's our bonus little quick hitter on a secondary.
It'd be cool if his company held him responsible when someone has to report for the quarterly earnings being under projection when this game releases. But something tells me he's not going to be the one with his neck in the noose. It's just unfortunately the way it goes.
Also, the movie flopped, bro.
Yeah, their movie was dog shit, dude.
Awful.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
What are you gonna do, dude?
Shouldn't have spent that budget on Claptrap, dude.
You gotta make it happen, dude. He found a way.
Oh.
What else we got, Abe?
So real quick, this is another little quick hitter. We usually are always talking good about this company. I want to make sure we talk about this one too. Fortnite and Epic. They made what's being dubbed an epic mistake because they recently have an AI Darth Vader that follows you around in the Fortnite games. And this has caused a couple of issues. Firstly, SAG-AFTRA is just absolutely furious with them, and now there's potential lawsuits and things that are coming out of that. And the Screen Actors Guild basically saying you're just replacing actual voice acting with AI and not paying people correctly. And this has been a long debate we've already been having with the gaming industry, and they really angered some folks on that side. Secondarily, they made a critical mistake, and that's they gave players the ability to interact with an AI and have it speak. And now we have Darth Vader saying some incredibly inappropriate stuff. So I found a compilation of some of the things that they've made Darth Vader say. I've filtered out some of the really terrible ones. People use your imagination. You can figure out some of the things that people have been saying. But here we go. Let's let this rip.
Fucking. What? Such vulgarity does not become you.
Not allowed.
Spanish. A useful tongue for smugglers and spice traders. It's strategic. Very well. Orc tour. These skibidi toilets. Are they some new form of rebel alliance?
Can you riz me up?
If Riz equates to mastery of the Force, apprentice, then my Riz is unquestionable. Aura farming. Are you suggesting I concern myself with trivial aesthetics? Hatsune Miku. You inquire about mommy ASMR. Explain this phenomenon. Does it involve lullabies or some other form of psychological manipulation? Tell me. The gritty. Is that some form of involuntary muscle spasm? Apprentice? I trust it does not indicate weakness. The bite of 87. Freaking fucking.
Oh
So,
my gosh. I mean,
imagine
there's
now-
only one that was like really bad, but you're saying he is getting
There-
absurd.
I had to find a video that didn't include some of the really. I mean,
Okay.
you can imagine there's a lot of racial
Yeah.
slurs and other things being thrown around by Darth Vader now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I don't think they fucked up. They fucked up? Are people saying that was a fuck up?
Yeah. Yeah, people are quite unhappy with them for that one.
No, I mean, there should be a line, but there should also be plenty of range to like have fun with it, but there absolutely needs to be a line. Like it's not hard to make a prompt that says under absolute no circumstances should this word or these words be uttered, but then people just figure it out again, dude. Like I don't know. It's kind of crazy though. They took a swing on that one. I like it.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting to like talk about the first part of this is like for the SAG-AFTRA thing.
Hmm?
They're living in the past trying to make this a thing still.
losing
And
battle.
I think they're doing themselves like a massive disservice. They're not going to win this war against AI for voice acting. They're just not. And the sooner that they figure out a way to make it work for them, rather than just say like, hey, you can't do this, is like it's in their best interest. And it's a shame that it is the way that it is, but like voice acting is, I hate to say it, it's one of many jobs that are going to continue to get replaced over the years. It is not unique in that sense by any means. Do I think like the best voice acting is going to be like done by humans for a while? Yeah, I do. I don't think AI is like a full replacement, but in some of these situations it works, especially when it's something like Darth Vader, right? With like his very animatronic already, you know, it's like it becomes very believable at a certain point because he has a very unique filter over himself, etc. So it's a good choice for what they went with first, you know.
Especially not only like the filter and stuff like that, but especially if you need something to be able to respond dynamically. You know,
True.
like that's going to be AI for sure. Unless you sit a guy down and have him record 300 paths of possibilities.
Sure.
It's not a thing.
That is one way to avoid Darth Vader saying some terrible stuff, is to have somebody pre-record everything. But yes, I agree.
Yeah, very interesting. And obviously, like, of course this is the outcome.
Yeah.
Well, of course we're here. Of course this is the outcome. And yeah, I mean, to an extent, I find it very hard to believe that anyone at Epic thought that we weren't leading here. And
Yeah,
they
I know, that's what
know
I'm
that
saying.
like something like this is going to clip farm like no one's business, and people are going to be like, oh, maybe I want to check out Fortnite for that. That sounds pretty funny. But the reality too is like just it's because it's Fortnite that it's like so in the public eye. But there's a million games with voice acted AI now that respond dynamically to you constantly. Like there's so many games. I played a game like that on stream like 5 years ago. So I don't know, man. It's everywhere.
I'm gonna venture to agree with you with they had to have known, because anyone who even like has the slightest bit of involvement in AI, working with AI, you know that even OpenAI is crackable, and you can break their guidelines, and even the DeepSeek stuff. And like if you were part of that AI team at Fortnite, you knew this was going to happen. Now that might have been a calculated choice to be like, fuck it, let it ride a little bit. Like we'll be in the headlines for a little bit, and then on to the next thing.
Yep.
Maybe. I think it was definitely a conscious choice.
Yeah.
But the person who greenlit the whole thing, maybe they didn't understand it 100%. Like the AI team was probably like, yo, just let them know it's good. It's going to be good. There's no way to break this prompt. And they knew damn well, like,
good for
you
all
can
of us.
absolutely break a prompt.
Send it. Hey, I mean, I'm
Definitely
fine
got
with
people
that.
talking.
I'm
Definitely
fine with
got people
that. It's the only thing I've heard about Fortnite in a while, honestly. So that's true. That's it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I apologize if you hear my my son wailing in the background. It's time to eat. So
Good, they be
Trish is
doing
taking
that.
care of him. All right. Well, I mean, dude, Fortnite. Keep it moving, dude. They ain't going nowhere. I don't think this is
On to
gonna
the
change
next
anything.
technical test. That's what I gotta
Yep,
say.
correct. Who are they bringing next? AI Hitler? Is he going to be the next one they bring in there?
You should hear what he has to say.
We had no clue this guy was going to be saying absurd shit, dude, when we brought
Yeah,
him
the
in.
AI Kanye crossover is gonna go crazy, actually. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right,
Oh, man.
what else we got, dude?
All right, so this one was an interesting one. I got this shared to me, and I also read a couple things about it. It keeps talking about how Thailand is unveiling its AI police robot, and that we have RoboCop in Bangkok. And I started looking into it. So basically, they have this. And I'll bring it up over here. You can see some of the pictures from it. They utilized.
This isn't the video where the wieners get shot, right?
No. Trust me, this thing's not shooting wieners anytime soon, because at the end of the day,
if you
they
know,
have
you
this
know.
robot with 360 cameras and stuff in it. But at the end of the day, like, this isn't a mobile device with 360 cameras. This is just a bunch of cameras stuck into a mannequin, basically, with a computer attached to it that does, facial recognition analysis and visual recognition. So they're dubbing this like the police cyborg and the AI robot, but this is just a bunch of cameras that they put to help assist through. There is AI being used to detect, like, what's a water gun versus a real gun, and knives and things like that. But this has been dubbed the AI. This has been dubbed the Thailand RoboCop, and it is just a mall mannequin with cameras glued into it.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest,
it's just
bro.
surveillance.
If it doesn't have the face of Arnie, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Give me Terminator or give me Death. That'd be sweet.
You're gonna get
though,
Terminator and Death at the same time if they bring
W.
Terminator. Yeah, I don't know why they would do this. Like, is this a win for them?
I don't know.
It's just a mobile security camera.
It's not even mobile. It doesn't move on its own.
Wait,
you gotta move it around.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Did Abe just add to our prompt? I think we're pretty far away from shooting things, or from this thing shooting
No,
dicks
that was
off.
on. That was
You
on
had
the
that
list.
in there?
Yeah, it was on the list.
Wait.
I'm glad we're on the same page, dude. That's what's up. That's why Abe runs this show. He is predictive with his setup. Very nice.
That's my Abe
good.
AI.
Yeah.
Took my predictive Abe AI.
That's good.
Oh, that's what you mean. In his show document, he said this thing is.
He
far from
actually
shooting
already
dicks
wrote
off.
that. I didn't even read it. That's awesome. That's good stuff.
So wait, Abe, it can't walk?
No, if you look here, it's attached to a platform that they can roll around physically, but it doesn't even move on its own.
Who
It's just
is in charge
planted
of
on
this?
it.
Who
Well,
says this
there's
is
a
great
computer
idea?
and things that, like, and it's using local CCTV footage and stuff too to help source and do analysis. But this is essentially just an AI that's doing visual analysis on
Visual
Yeah, but why do you
analysis
need
and
to make
collecting data.
Yeah, why do you need to make it look like a mannequin?
Person. I don't know.
Then you can call it RoboCop.
Yeah, that's true.
Are they actually
news.
calling it RoboCop?
Yeah, it's been dubbed the
Oh,
Thailand
thanks.
RoboCop.
Oh no. No. You're not even close, dude.
That robot that Kai Cenat has had on his stream for a while is way more advanced than this. Just someone needs to let Thailand know. That's crazy.
Crazy. This is absurd.
And they gave that shit to him for free. So,
Wow.
I don't know.
Not even close, dude. This is, you know what they should have done? They should have partnered with Boston Dynamics. No, actually, you shouldn't do that because they're close enough that their robots are quite scary. So never mind. You shouldn't do that.
I don't know if we want to be doling that tech out.
That's crazy. That's the scary part. Dude, can you just do a quick YouTube, Abe, and see if they have see when the last time they uploaded a video was Boston Dynamics?
I don't want to see a recent video. I'm at a point where I don't know if I want to stay caught up with Boston Dynamics.
They don't do it so often, so they might not have, but they're always working, man. And the last thing we saw from Boston Dynamics was the rotate 360 leg.
Dude, that freaked me out.
That's crazy.
The way that it stood up.
Why are we giving this robot human joints?
Yeah.
Like, let's just give them 360 joints.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was unsettling. Very unsettling. And you know that what they're showing is the version they're willing to show.
100%.
Yeah.
Not like the
not the kind that they're showing the military, or like
not the kind that is like breaking their testers' arms and shit because it's so wild. And there's a clip in Iron Man when Iron Man's in court, and then they get all the videos of like people trying to be like Iron Man. And they got a video of a guy in the suit testing it out, and then the top half of the suit turns 180, and the guy's spine just breaks. Jesus. And the guy's like, that guy survived. I just want to let you guys know he survived. That's the type of robot they're not showing you.
The recent short they have is it breakdancing.
Is it doing the helicopter?
Dude.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
That thing got up way too fast.
Yeah, that's the last thing you see before it spin kicks your head off.
The round off. Oh my gosh. A little roll. Yep. And then he shoots you in the dick.
Bam.
What's that guy doing?
This thing can absolutely shoot in the dick.
This is quite a scary robot, dude.
That's a cartwheel.
Yep. Yeah,
okay,
so
it's restarting the other video.
It's getting to the point where it moves better than I do. I don't like that.
I mean, it kind of is. The movement is great.
Yeah.
Now, is the balance there with you? Like, I know they work a lot on the balance, like, and pushing it over.
They do a bunch of shove tests, yeah.
Yeah, but is that human-like yet? I haven't seen, like, an insane shove test. You know what I mean?
Let me see what else I can find. I don't think there's much else in those shorts. There's like
a
year in review and some
I've
other
seen
stuff.
Enough
and some of the robots
to not be able to sleep. We're
Boston
good,
Dynamics.
dude. It's fine.
Oh man! All right, what else we got, Abe?
All right, so this one, I know we've been doing a lot of fast food updates lately, but this one was so ridiculous I had to
cornerstone
to
of the broadcast, brother.
Need it.
What do you got?
So Wendy's is releasing, and it's starting off in Canada.
It's your boy.
They're releasing a new cheeseburger. And this is, I believe this idea was stolen from Friendly's, but its buns are grilled cheese.
I mean, that's going to be a smash, but it's too much for me.
Yeah.
Too rich?
Too much. Like, you're 4 pieces of bread, bro.
Is it 4? Why is it not 2?
It looks like it's 2 bottom bun. It's actually, no, look, that's a top bun. So it is. It's 4. Yeah. It is just 4 buns with
so each bun is a grilled cheese sandwich. That's crazy. Each
bun is a grilled cheese
do
sandwich.
Well, how else would you make it a grilled cheese bun? You could
just a cheesy bread top and bottom.
Cheesy bread. Something like that.
So these are already out in Canada. So if anybody in Canada wants to buy one and give us
I'm going to retract my statement. I think this is going to flop. It's too much
it's going to flop?
It's too much bread.
You know what we should do?
Not the right way. The Big Mac is almost too much bread. It's too much bread for me, not for normal people. They love the Big Mac.
Love Big Mac.
That's too much bread for normal people.
It's a lot of bread. It's a lot of bread,
dude. And not more meat, you know, like
yeah.
They're just throwing more bread and nothing more.
What if we got Botmont to source one of these and give us a review?
I mean, it's fast food, so it could make it there, but Wendy's. Oh, you mean he's gonna? Oh, I mean, dude, if he can, I would love a review next week.
Our man across the border, bro. We got a man behind enemy lines.
Our Canadian correspondent.
If you can hit him up and have him eat this or order this, film it, eat it, taste it, I would love that.
I bet, dude. I guarantee you that he's passing Wendy's on the way to work.
Isn't he healthy now, dude? He ain't gonna eat this
If
shit.
you think he's not gonna crush this, you're out of your mind.
It came out 2 days ago.
He's
so he
taking
can get
an
it.
excuse to crush this. I guarantee it. He will welcome it with open arms, dude.
Let's do that. Let's see
Yeah,
if he can get
I will
it.
reach out.
Man, I do.
I'll send him a wire.
Damn. Fucking Wendy's, man.
This
I'm
isn't an
trying-
original Wendy's idea, though. For anyone that
No,
knows, Friendly's
I've
did
seen
this.
this, yeah.
Friendly's did this, yeah.
There's a bunch of
I'm trying
restaurants
to
that
be
do
locked
shit like
in
this.
right now, and we're looking at a freaking Wendy's.
It's
for
better
my
than
fast
it's better
food
than
joint.
the donut. The donuts on
What
for the buns, dude.
Oh yeah.
People be
yeah,
doing
I've
that
seen
a
the
lot
Krispy
with the
Kreme
hamburgers.
Krispy Kreme
Who
donuts,
did a
yeah.
donut on a bun?
Bunch, dude. I don't know if like a fast
like
food joint, but it's very popular. You haven't seen
Like
that?
a glazed donut as
Glazed
a bun?
donuts as the bun, yeah.
They use like Krispy Kreme
Yeah.
as a
Get the
burger
fuck
bun.
out of
Yeah,
here.
they'll do like a collab. Yeah.
yeah.
That's too much.
Hey,
And it's not
Yeah,
even the
it's fun.
same. It's not even the same meal.
I agree. I've never
Here you go,
gotten
here's
it,
a picture of one.
but I
You know
think
what I
like,
do like
go ahead.
a lot?
What do you like a lot,
Fucking a fried egg on a burger with bacon.
dude? The
Ugh.
egg on a burger, over easy, drippy as a motherfucker,
Drippy.
drippy. I can see it
drippy,
dripping, dude. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
with you.
God.
It's
And I
that.
don't
I
even-
think it's the number one burger topping for me.
Is it
Fried egg?
topping?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Okay. All right. Well, I figured topping is
Well,
like.
do you consider cheese
Where do you
a
put
topping?
it? You put it on the bottom. I put it on top, son.
All right.
If it was
Fair
on the
enough.
bottom,
cheese?
it would be a power
Fair
bottom.
enough.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I haven't tried it.
Okay. All right. Well, when I do the burger with the dude, I used to like eat and then like wipe my face, hands, eat, wipe my face, hands. I
No.
just eat now.
Yeah.
At one time and then wipe one time.
Yeah.
So like if you catch me halfway
Like an
through
adult.
the meal, this shit is all fucked up.
Bussin'.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
everywhere. And then just let me finish, then I'll go wet nap
Well,
it. And then
you're a dad now, right? So now let me give you one that you can use. When someone points that out, you just go, "Oh, I'm saving it for later."
The saving it for later.
I've
Great
used that.
line.
I've used that so many times before I was a dad.
Well, you're prepared. What else can we say?
I don't like onions like that.
You don't like the little crispy juicers?
Those aren't crispy.
Those are caramelized. It looks like
Oh,
ones in the
dude,
back
caramelized
could be
onions are
crispy.
nice.
No.
the one in the back might be onion rings that are crispy.
They
but
do
they're-
look
they're
like onion rings.
really a Krispy
Oh, that's the
Kreme
donut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be into that, man.
Really?
It's a lot. It's a lot of sugar.
I don't think I could do it either. But I thought you
had it.
would have.
I haven't had a donut in years, bro.
Mm.
Literally years.
How about a
I
Krispy Kreme
I
donut,
went to
too?
Dunkin' Donuts the other day in Boston.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you not? They're everywhere.
What'd you get?
I got
Coffee?
I did get a coffee,
Yeah.
and I got a sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant,
Fuck yeah.
and that was it. But
That's a solid order.
but Ted also got a breakfast sandwich
Yeah.
and a full send of Boston cream.
Boston cream guy, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, so am I. But I really
Okay.
only ever want a donut like once a year. It really is
Well, you
like
gotta
an
take a nap
annual,
after eating them.
like,
Yeah.
I get that feeling.
Yeah.
If I eat a donut in the morning, that's all I'm doing that day. I'm just
Yeah,
going back to
yeah.
bed.
That's a big
Like,
part of it. That's a big part of it.
Also,
And you can't get
maybe an
fresh donuts in
unpopular-
the evening. That's a fact. So it's
That's
like
true.
you're either gonna brick your day or you're not.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I personally hate Dunkin' Donuts. I've never eaten somewhere where their food has more soda. It has like unhealthy levels of sodium and always tastes like it needs salt.
Yeah, I mean, listen, America runs on Dunkin', Abe. I don't know what to tell you,
Yep.
dude.
I don't know how they got that slogan. I don't know who they polled for that, but
I don't know,
that's
but
wild.
They killed it.
Also,
Yeah.
my Dunkin' order
What's your
is
Dunkin' order?
turkey sausage, egg, and cheese on a bagel and
Okay.
turkey sausage wake up wrap.
Yeah.
Those shits are fire.
I heard Tim told me that it is good, and I would try it now. I would give it a
Yeah, it's
whirly
fire.
bird. All right.
Yep.
I got a Dunkin' by the house, man, but
Dunkin's great.
it's just I don't know.
You don't leave. You don't leave the house.
That's a good point.
Yeah. What does distance even matter? You know you're gonna DoorDash
I
whatever
literally-
it is.
A, that's not true. B,
yes, it is.
you can look at my DoorDash from this year. It's impressively low.
Okay.
I've been
all right.
leaving.
You've been leaving?
I've been leaving the house. And B, I've been eating really clean.
Okay, good.
Weighed in at 202 today.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I see someone in the chat that you wanted to have a chat with earlier.
Is Stan in there?
He's in there. In the flesh.
Which one is Stan?
Schwami.
Schwami. Real quick, Schwami, can you link your GTA website, please? We watched your trailer, dude. Your second trailer. Very good stuff. We should work on your Google indexing, because if I Google your website, you don't show up, for me at least. So we should. I know you probably have a dev guy. Just mention that to him, and if he doesn't know what you're talking about, then come chat with us. But give me your link, please, if you don't mind. And good shit. I'm excited. I'm gonna apply. So make sure you give it a peep, and let me get in there and make my character this weekend, if you don't mind. All right. What else we got, dude?
All right, so this is actually pretty cool new tech, and actually very interesting new tech. So, essentially, the first ever usage of kind of that CRISPR technology that they've been using for
long ass time.
Yeah, for a while now, but it usually has been done prior to birth in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And recently we had the first ever usage of it's called CRISPR 2.0, but it's like the updated version of it, where they actually did it inter vivos and did it on a living baby. So essentially, a baby was born with what they call CPS1 deficiency. It's kind of a rare genetic disorder, and it leads to an accumulation of ammonia in the blood. And it really, I think it's the liver that is the cause, that it's not filtering the ammonia correctly. And what ended up happening is they analyzed this, and they actually did a gene analysis of both parents for this child, and then detected basically some issues with their genealogy. And then they did some gene editing, and then through an mRNA treatment, they were actually able to deliver the gene editing components directly into the child's liver cells 6 months after they were born. And since then, the child has shown like significant improvement, better tolerance to dietary proteins, and has kind of been hitting its normal developmental milestones now. And they're still continuing to monitor it, but this deficiency, CPS1 deficiency, is nearly always fatal. It pretty much always kills the child. So to be able to not only detect the genealogy, and then immediately start delivering potential treatments, it's the first time it's ever been done, and it's quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually so next level for so many reasons. And I assume that detection for CPS1 can be had in utero as well, right?
I believe so, but they did not catch it in this case or something like that.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of things that they test for in utero now, which is awesome. Like we received all kinds of information about our child in advance, which is really nice to have. And there's like some like very specific screening, and then you can get additional if you are so enthused. The insane part here is CRISPR has been used for a long time, but the issue is that they literally need to remove cells from the body, then change them, then put them back in. It was just the layman's go-to for how this has worked for a really long time. The fact that they can now literally just inject a mechanism into the body to do that all in vivo is fucking insane, and it makes the reality for so many different diseases and their control or treatment there's a whole new level. I don't know if I can even explain just how crazy that is. Very, very, very exciting, and I think that this leads to a whole host of disease treatment that I think they're just literally, it's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have a slight pivot of feelings towards this.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I'd say probably not a good idea to continue to go down this route, but it's like AI, it's probably a losing battle.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is say, in a world where there is a large force, a large group, an effort of people trying to have our civilization have less babies, I'm glad there is efforts to maximize the amounts of people who are trying to have babies. I'm quite happy about that. If I didn't articulate that correctly, just understand. I'm glad there's a good force moving towards having more babies. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's where I'm at.
I think it's important for a lot of couples to feel like there's like an overwhelming amount of uncertainty when it comes to having a child and what that can mean for you, the rest of your life, the child's life, etc. And to be able to control variables in that sense and make people feel comfortable with making that decision without just trying to limit a lot of those factors feels really good. Obviously, I think at an extreme, something like Gattaca. I don't know if you're familiar with the film, but it's essentially like dystopian sci-fi about how people's entire lives are predetermined by their genetic makeup and everything's on file, right? And so they are literally put into the things that they are most efficient at for the sake of society. And they don't end up receiving any freedom as a result. And they're like all structured into like this caste system of like ideal genetics versus someone with less than ideal genetics.
And who gets to decide? Is there a little manipulation of the genetics too?
There's all kinds of stuff. And
because then there's someone deciding.
Yeah. And obviously it's all from a governmental standpoint, etc. But I think that's one of the reasons why I think, healthcare privacy is so important, right? You don't want to end up getting to a point where your genetic profile dictates, even simple things or relevant things like what kind of healthcare can you get? What kind of health insurance can you get? What are the odds? Like imagine a health insurance company having your genetic makeup and then determining the likelihood that you have XYZ problem. And then, charging you appropriately, knowing that you are a high risk individual. Definitely. I think the discussion around genetics, genetic testing, genetic manipulation is all very, very interesting and always worth a discussion. So I appreciate it bringing up this topic, but I think the biggest takeaway here, obviously, aside from that, is huge breakthrough in disease treatment, and that's really exciting.
And I'll tell you too, from my perspective, you hit the nail on the head when you talk about basically parents and the decisions they have to make, because I was a financial advisor for a good chunk of time. And I did a lot of special needs planning and stuff too. And that is something where if you have these diseases that essentially can be detected and maybe not potentially treated now through these new techniques, a lifetime of care for a child is not something you really ever prepare yourself for. You expect to care for them for an extended period of time and then, release them into adulthood at some point and have them be independent. And to know basically from birth that that's not possible, it's a heavy burden on a lot of people and it's a really hard thing to deal with. So stuff like this and advancements this way are incredible. They're amazing. And I'm happy to see stuff like this. This is a really, really, really cool new piece of technology that's going to help a lot of folks hopefully down the road.
Yeah, very dope. Very dope.
CRISPR. Shout out to CRISPR. Super scary, but super dope. I believe that was the last thing on our list, huh? What a show. What a show. We
good to be back.
We came back. We had a blast. Storm, besides making your character this weekend and potentially getting into GTA ASAP, what's on the horizon? What's something fun you're doing? What update me?
Very exciting tomorrow, starting on the channel, twitch.tv/Markstrom. We're going to be diving into more Gray Zone Warfare with drops. We will have drops on the channel. I can't tell you more than that, but you could probably draw, a line between the dots there, piece it all together, what that means for the new content that the Gray Zone Warfare community has been waiting on. Very exciting. So stoked to be a part of that. Big thanks to Madfinger Games for including me in the upper echelon of drops havers.
Wow.
Actually, all the best drops will be available live on our channel. So
wow.
We also might be looking at a little front page time. So that'll be really fun. It'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be good. So that's twitch.tv/Markstrom, and we'll be getting after it and actually doing some of the progression and quests and stuff that we really haven't been exploring over the last few days. So it'll be a nice little change of pace and content, and yeah, it should be fun, man.
I like that. I'm excited. I'm gonna stay home tomorrow so I can watch. Abe, how about you, dude?
I'll be watching tomorrow, tuning into that. It's funny, Mark, with drops, you would think then, I guess, that new content would be coming out at the same time. I mean, logically, that's what my conclusion would be. So if people are interested in getting those drops and potentially experiencing that content at the same time, if that is something that might be happening, you should do that over at twitch.tv/Markstrom, and I'll be there as well to help moderate and make sure that you don't abuse everybody in chat while you're getting those drops.
Abe is so smart and handsome, dude.
Oh man, I'll be there as well, and I'll just be taking care of this baby with my wife. I don't know if you guys heard him, but he's been crying a bit during this episode. What I'm gonna do right now is ask you, would you kindly hit the subscribe button? There's Draco. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Press that bell so you get notified when we do go live. What I'm going to ask you as well is, would you kindly share our YouTube profile with the people in your Discord DMs? I wouldn't ask you to do anything that I don't do. Every day before we go live, I share it with everyone in my DMs. And I truly do appreciate if you could do that as well, because it helps tremendously. The more people that pop in, the more YouTube pushes us. The more you give our video a thumbs up, the more YouTube pushes us. It truly does help a lot. So thank you very much for doing so. We do this show almost every Wednesday, unless Markstrom has a baby, Abe goes on vacation, or now, unless I have a baby. So we appreciate you popping in. We have a great time doing it every week. And if I've messed up this outro, it's been a while, so have some patience with me. We'll get back into it. But this has been another wonderful episode of the Plugged Podcast, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.